Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Blood Bowl number 4. We are in round 5. 5 teams left in the season. The top 5 are here. And tonight, we have 2 teams vying for the top 4 for the semifinals. Tonight, it's going to be pretty bashy. It's going to be Nevva versus the Dead Poets, Chime versus Spear, Orcs versus Undead. Let's take a look at how this bracket has shaped up before we take a look at the rosters of the 2 teams. In round 1 of this championship competition, we had the Harlequins BBFC, the shambling Undead of BB Nut, face off against Stairway to Nuffle. The underworld denizens of El Numerino, Harlequins BBFC, would win that one and advance to round 2. And in round 2, they would face off against the Imperial Nobility, the Kind Peacocks, a Kind Sirs team. They would win there as well. I Want to Be Like Doug face off against Alphetus Australis. Alphetus Australis would advance on a forfeit due to technical reasons to face off against the Harlequins in round 3, but unfortunately, due to technical reasons, Alphetus Australis would have to drop out. Harlequins would advance to round 4. In round 4, everybody was rooting for them, but in the Undead mirror match, the Harlequins BBFC would lose to the Dead Poets. The Dead Poets advancing here to round 5. Nevva, the Orc team by Chime, faced off against the Real American Heroes, Dead Fred's Dark Elf team. Nevva would win that one, and now they're here in round 5. Orcs versus Undead, 2 pretty bashy teams. The winner of tonight's match will advance to the semifinals with the big boys. And they will face off against JD Whitey's Forest of Flames. They are a Wood Elf team in the semifinals. Doug the Minotaur's White Skull Windbreakers. Doug the Minotaur, the current league champion. They're an Orc team. They will face off against Nick Satan's Cenozoic Bark, a Lizard team in the semifinals as well. The 2 winners will advance to the finals. The 2 losers will advance to the consolation round to vie for 3rd place. Boy, we're getting down to the final few games of the season. It's been a great season. I've had a lot of fun. This has been our biggest, our most competitive season yet. And we have the most competitive games yet to come. Tonight, let's take a look at the home team first. Chime's Nevva coming in a TV of 1,485,000 gold. 12 players on this roster. They have the 4 big unblockers, the string 4 players. They have the big guy in the untrained troll, Rick Rolla Astley II. All 4 blitzers, 2 linemen, and a goblin, 1 apothecary, 1 cheerleader, 1 assistant coach, 6 dedicated fans, and 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against the Dead Poets here. They're coming in a TV of 1,550,000 gold. They have 11 players on this roster. 12 players? Things have changed. Things have changed. All right, let's see. What do we got here? So 45,000K going back to Nevva. It was going to be the other way around, 10K. Now it's 45K going back to Nevva. It was going to be 10K to the Dead Poets. They couldn't spend anything with that. Now it's going to be 45K going back to Nevva, and they can spend that on something. But we'll talk about that in just a minute. 2 mummies, 2 blitzers, all 4 cool runners, and 4 zombos. 6 dedicated fans, 4 rerolls on this roster. How are these 2 teams going to play tonight? It's going to come down to 6, 8, 4, and 39. What am I talking about? Well, if we look at the roster for Nevva here, they have 8 block players, 6 guard players, 4 Mighty Blow players with a total field strength of 39 versus the Undead team that has 8 block players, 4 guard players, 2 Mighty Blow players with a total maximum field strength of 37. So the Orc team is the bashier team in this matchup. They're going to lean into that in this matchup. The Undead team means they don't really want to go toe-to-toe because the odds are not going to be in their favor. But what do they do then? All right, I can't play the bash game. What am I going to do? Well, they can lean into the speed of these ghoul runners. These ghoul runners, they do have a significant speed advantage here with most of them at an MA of 7. Joplin at an MA of 8. That is a significant speed advantage. They can leverage that to try to win a more speedy, maybe a more agile game against these orcs. But how do you do that, right? You can't just send your ghoul runner out there and then have them get popped in the nose because it's AV 8+ is fairly brittle. Sure, a couple of them are blodgers. Maybe you have to rely on that at some point, but you don't want to, especially with both teams having a few tackle players. So what do? Well, you got to keep them safe, and to keep them safe, I think this really boils down to the mummies versus the black orcs. These two mummies with a strength of 5, they both have guard. They're going to have a strength of 6 effectively. These are the players to watch out for the dead poets to try to get that player advantage. Whereas on Nevva, they've got those 4 big gun blockers with a strength of 4. They do have the big guy in Rick Rolla Astley II as well. What this means for the dead poets is they've got to find a way to keep these big blockers out of the drive or out of a key play or out of a turn. They've got to keep them tied up or out of the way or push them out of position or something. Something needs to happen where they control the big blockers. If they can do that, I think they can come out on top tonight. Whereas Nevagana's really looking at those 2 mummies. Those 2 mummies are going to be the ones that are putting in the hurt center pitch. They're going to try to tie up those mummies, try to keep them busy, try to keep them out of the drive. And both teams have to do this a little bit differently, right? The undead team going after these big blockers, they only have a strength of 4, so 1 assist gets them to the 1 die block. That's a fairly easy way to try to start pushing these guys around. Whereas a strength of 5 is a big difference. That's an extra guy you have to bring in on the assist if it's not a big blocker, that is, going on the block. And not only does that mean more guys tied up trying to block down a mummy, that means less guys defending the pitch, but it also means that it's just plain harder to get those blocks sometimes because there's fewer squares, right, due to assists from your opponent. Now that's mitigated a bit by all these players with guard for sure, but Nevva, Chime rather, is going to really have to decide how he wants to deal with these mummies. Another option to him is to just tie them up with maybe a lineman in the opposite direction. He says, you know what, I'm going to tie up the mummy. If you want to block him, if you want any movement out of this other than rushing, you're going to have to get, or blitzing, I suppose, you're going to have to go the wrong way. So that's another way he can try to take these mummies out of the drive. Neither coach really has a fouler, which is a problem for both coaches. If they had a fouler, this is a whole different game. They'd have if one of these teams had a fouler and the other one didn't, significant advantage in this matchup, but neither does. So I think Nevva just needs to play the Orc Bashy game, just find a way to keep those mummies out of the drive. They come out on top. If I keep wanting to call them the undead poets. The dead poets. If the dead poets can keep these big blockers at bay, they come out on top. You keep the big blockers at bay, that probably means the troll's not going to be a big deal as well with an MA of 4. Now you're just dealing with a strength 3 across the board. Now your ghouls can go down pitch, maybe get a half cage or 3 players on a screen. You can keep them safe for the turn, then you can score. It's going to come down to the big blockers and the mummies, and that's probably all going to come down to mid-pitch. So, or center pitch, I should say. So watch the action right in the middle of the screen. That's where all the important decisions in this matchup is going to be made, and that's going to decide who comes out on top tonight. 4 rerolls for the Dead Poets, just 3 for Nevva. I'm going to head over to Discord. I'm going to see if the 2 coaches are ready to go, and then we're going to get this round 5 game underway. So I just saw in Discord. So I had warned, just because I think just to make sure players are aware of the rules of the game, I had warned S Beaver about the die rolls for expensive mistakes, and was like, listen, this is where you're at. This is what the table looks like. And S Beaver rolled a major incident. Major incident means you lose half your treasury, rounded down to the nearest 5,000. So S Beaver's treasury went from 390,000 down to 195,000. It's a good start to the evening, but clear skies for this matchup, it seems, at least for the first drive of the game. Yeah, expensive mistakes is how you keep people from just socking away tons and tons of money. And the problem is if players can sock away, $1 million, $2 million, whatever, sock away a lot of gold in their treasury, then your team value isn't really reflected properly unless you take the treasury into account. But then if you take the treasury into account, that's not really reflecting the strength of your team. So the way they mitigate this is to say, okay, your team value is the strength of your team, the value of your team, minus, not including your treasury. But if you're going to hoard money, the more you hoard, the greater the chances that you're going to lose money, and the greater the amount of money you can lose. Here's a coin toss. We'll see who goes on offense first. The Dead Poets have traditionally gone on offense to start, and yeah, that's how they're going to start this game as well. So the Dead Poets will start this game on offense. Clear skies for this matchup, at least so far. We have that kickoff event table to get through. 12 on the roster for Nevva. 11? No, I think it's 12 now. Yeah, 12 on the roster for the Dead Poets at the last minute as well. Nevva looking like they're choosing to screen out this undead team. Rickrolla asking the second, the troll, strength of 5 right in that nose tackle position. All 4 big unblockers as the linebackers. Yeah, so screening out this offense, deciding he doesn't want anybody to get by him. I think he could have piled in the center pitch as well. I think both of these are equally valid starting formations here. And maybe try to goad the early score by the Dead Poets and hold on to the ball for the rest of the game, win 2-1. But Chime says, nope, I don't want you getting by me. I want to engage you, so we'll stay right here at center pitch for as long as I can, and I'm going to try to beat you up. The Dead Poets now to set up their offense, 3 on the line. This is the line that S. Beaver has been going with all competition long. Has the 2 mummies as the guards, has Alexander, the number 13 lineman, in that center position, getting 2 assists by these mummies. So strength 5, strength 5, strength 5 on the line. He can block down the line this way. A mummy can go after an orc lineman. And then he has his choice of how to take on the other orc lineman and the troll. Joplin, the MA8 ghoul runner, the blodger, in fact, back to receive. And here's the kick. No kicker on the roster for Nevva. They get to reset 5 players on this touchback. So they roll a 2 on the D3. 2 plus 3. They get 5 players who are not marked to reposition on defense. They might scoot them up the line. He might decide to give up a wide zone. We'll see what he decides to do. It is going to be a touchback, so this ball is going to be a free pickup for any player. So just 4 players to move, not choosing 5, just moving 4, putting 2 more on the line, 3 more on the line, moving all 4 linebackers onto the line. What? I think that's a misclick. Put the ball in the hands of Alexander, the center? That had to have been a misclick. Oh no. Oh no. Wow, what a start. Major incident on the expensive mistakes roll, and then a misclick on the touchback to put the ball in the hands of the center. Oh boy. Turn 1 for the Dead Poets. We'll see if they can recover from this. They do have 4 rerolls. We might see a YOLO dodge here by Alexander after the blocks are taken. Let's see if he can even take the blocks. So 5. Well, it's a 1 die with Harrison. He might just try the dodge with Alexander. Try to hand off to Thane or someone else and get this ball to safety. Takes the 1 die block with Harrison. Does get the POW on the troll. Whoa, and an armor break too. Gets a stun. Good stun here. Is he somehow going to try to free the ball carrier? There's no way. Gets a push with Lennon, the right guard. There is no way. Ten seconds on the clock. Looks like he's repositioning to try to get some protection. Is he going to try to rush it to Joplin? Ooh. Setting up a screen here for this inevitable dodge. It's going to be a 4+ dodge by Alexander. Boot polish naturally cheering for the defense. Wow, pulling in everybody to protect the ball carrier. This is going to be a scary drive now. Deep in the clock now, in the bonus clock, that is. Oh, he's going to blitz him away. Takes the 2-die blitz. Gets the POW here. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, nice moving Joplin up. He doesn't have to rush it. He's not going to hand off. He's going to keep it in the hands of Alexander. Wow. Turn 1 now for Nevva. What a start to this game. Holy smokes. So decided to blitz away instead. That would have that eats up one of his precious 4 MA of movement, but got this pseudo cage into position. Decided to blitz away instead. That meant he wouldn't be able to hand off the ball with Alexander. So wow, really gutsy play. POW on Lennon. Dylan with stand firm. 10+ will break armor. Yeah, that's how you keep these mummies at bay. 3 MA means that they'll have to spend all 3 MA to stand back up on a future turn. So took the blitz instead of handing off. Keeps the ball in the hands of Alexander. Alexander, the center, retreats to the 8-yard line. 2-die block against Harrison will be a both standing result. Still has a blitz available, but I wager, he wants to start applying some pressure. He needs to be a little careful. You can't go crazy and start bringing everybody to the side. He can bring one player to the side. That's sure. He could even potentially bring another player to the side. Yeah, going for the blitz. 2-die blitz here. Gets a push out of this. Might spend a reroll. No, he'll take the push. He says that's fine. Still needs to keep center pitch engaged. Has to spend the reroll and the frenzy follow-up. Gets the knockdown here. But have to follow up. Gets a KO. 1-man player advantage. Well done. He's keeping center pitch at bay here. Decided to actually bring 2 players in. Needs to be a little careful here. That frenzy follow-up. Still covering all this ground, but if one of these players gets knocked out, it could just be a single positive dodge to freedom for the Dead Poets. Turn 2 now for the Dead Poets. SB Beaver cheering for the offense naturally. Gonna start off with the blitz. Yeah, 2-die blitz here. Gets a push on Let You Down. He's looking for a little more than that. He says, you know what, I'll take it. That just frees up the ball carrier, so not looking to open up that hole to the left, it seems. Just looking to keep the ball carrier free. Needs a 3+. Roll a 1. We'll have to re-roll this. Rolled a 6. Natural 1s always fail. Natural 6s always succeeding. So there it is. Down to 3 re-rolls for the Dead Poets. Finally get the ball in the hands of what was certainly the intended ball carrier all along. Joplin, the MA8 Ghoul Runner. Number 7 on the 8-yard line. That's a lot of numbers. Currently with the 1-die block against Runaround. Number 6 big and blocker on the right side here at center pitch. Laura Dern the second could take the block. Two-die block now with Laura Dern. There it is. Gets the POW out of this. So the Dead Poets playing a man down. Knocked out player would be a 4+ to bring that player back onto the pitch. But more importantly, that's their kicker. They'd really like to have that player onto the pitch for the next drive. Did block on Tell Two Lies the second. Gets a knockdown here. Looking for a 9+ to break armor by the number 1 Mummy. No armor break though. Dead Poets back on the bonus clock and already a minute down on that bonus clock here in turn 2. After the egregious error on the kickoff of this game. They're going to move the ball out to the right wide zone, staying on the 8-yard line. Turn 2 back to Nevva. Two die block on Lennon, the number 2 Mummy. Gets a both standing result here or a push, but either way, Lennon's going to stay right where he is, I wager. Dead Poets deciding whether to use stand firm here or not. Might not want to take the other blocker. No, he'll stand firm. I think that was a wise decision. Gets the POW on Harrison. That's the left Mummy. 10+ breaks armor. Nevva doing a great job of keeping these mummies at bay. Repositions the number 14 lineman. I just want to tell you the 4th. It's in the position in front of the ball carrier in the right wide zone on Nevva's own 2-yard line. 30 seconds left on the clock here. Might reset their defense here on the left. Going for the blitz. 2-die blitz against the runner formerly known as Prince. The rookie ghoul runner gets a POW. No armor break. I think that's a good call hunting these ghoul runners. They do not have regen. They only have an AV of 8. The rookie only has dodge as well. Now a 2-die block on Lennon. Spends the reroll. Now only gets the push. Lennon going to stay on their feet. Probably staying put. And Nevva down to just 1 reroll for the half. That is a ton of players tied up by this Mummy. Sends Make You Cry out to the right corner. Finally gets the knockdown here on Lennon, looking for a 10+. But Lennon's going to stand right back up shortly. Good 3+ dodge to get Archie into position. I think that's a wise call. Bring in those players, apply that pressure early, but didn't get overcommitted. Reset them back behind the line of scrimmage to play some defense. Yep, Mummies stand right back up here in turn 3 for the Dead Poets. They have 3 rerolls. And they send the rookie ghoul runner out to the left wide zone. Ball carrier has a movement of 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of this is their domain. 8 is very, very fast. Moving Hendricks the third, the number 9 rookie ghoul runner, up to mark Make You Cry. Wow. Wow. No fear here. Wants the 2-die blitz on Make You Cry. Here it comes. It's a both down result. Might re-roll this. Yeah, spends a re-roll. Wants the knockdown or the push. We'll get the push out of it. This is going to free up the sideline, but I don't know if he wants to take it. He is going to follow up, though, so it seems like he may. Boy, the Orcs are eyeing up this feast of ghoul runners over here in the right wide zone. Dead Poets rush. Morrison, the number 4 white blitzer, double injured here with 2 serious injuries. Trying to get a screen of protection down the sideline, and he's going to take it, so there he goes. Joplin, number 7 ghoul runner in the half cage over on the right sideline on the opposing 6-yard line. Trying to mark some players so they can't reposition for the blitz. Spends the rush, and just like that, the Dead Poets down to 1 reroll for the half. 6:09 left on their bonus clock. Turn 3 for Nevva. We'll see if they take this shot here. Probably going to try to blitz down number 4. Two-die block on Lara during the second, gets a push. Two-die block on Lennon, gets the POW. Talked about how they had to keep these mummies out of it, and they're doing just that. Takes another assist on Morrison. He might be trying to... No. Yeah, there we go. Gonna rush to take the blitz right in front of the ball carrier. Gets the POW on Morrison. Needs an 8+ to break armor. He'd love an armor break here. He got it. Great armor break. Got the removal as well. Fantastic blitz by Hertia, the number 4 blitzer. Now standing right in front of that ball carrier. Great blitz. Another removal, my goodness gracious. 3-man player advantage now for Nevva. They rush in position, take a mark on the ball carrier. 3 removals now in the drive. So they are indeed playing into the bash game, and it's working out wondrously for them. Keeping those mummies at bay, and now the Dead Poets in a bit of trouble here. Tried the 50. Tried the 50-50 dodge would let you down. Failed the die roll. And now turn 4 for the Dead Poets. Currently a 3+ dodge away from Hertia. Cannot use the dodge skill, however, so there's no free reroll thanks to Hertia having the tackle skill. Poopage says I need to rename him. That was a letdown. I've been playing Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake a lot. Love it. I love Dragon Quest. I'm a big Dragon Quest fan. And there's a point in Dragon Quest III where, so in Dragon Quest III you can create your own party with your own jobs. And so if you have a merchant in your party, there's a place where you meet a guy and you can build a town. But you have to leave the merchant behind to build the town. So I named him Willie Loman. So a happy ending for Willie Loman. He gets the Build a town and feel needed and useful. 35 seconds left on the clock. Takes the 2-die block with Joplin. Or 2-die blitz. Oh no! Re-rolls into a skull! Ball's going to get knocked out of bounds. It gets knocked all the way back to center pitch on Nevaga's own 6-yard line. Oh, didn't want to dodge away. Instead took the block. I think the block was riskier. Ended up spending the re-roll. Rolled into a skull. Ball bounced out of bounds, thrown back into an advantageous position for Nevva. Final turn of the first quarter coming up. Nevva on defense, but looking to turn that around and get on the offense here. So Nevva doing. It's understood exactly what they needed to do. They're playing the New York game. He understands he's got the double skulls on the block. That'll be a turnover. Second quarter about to begin here. Knows exactly what he needs to do. He's been just getting those blocks, taking those marks, keeping those mummies at bay, and it has worked out very well with no re-rolls remaining. Rolled double skulls, and that's a turnover. Both these coaches really need to be cognizant of the fact that they are out of re-rolls. So the odds on their die rolls have changed significantly. They have to be careful, not just with their action order, but really what actions they choose to take. 2-die block on dessert. Yeah, that'll be a both standing result. Polish says never fails. If it compliments me and I mess up. Well, Nuffle decided it wasn't in the cards. Or in the dice, as it were. One minute left in turn 5 for the Dead Poets. Trying to figure out how to reposition their team. Not only do they have to reposition their team to try to get on the ball, but they really need to make sure they're on defense. Because as much as they want to score, they absolutely can't give up a score here. .35 seconds on the clock. Dead Poets going for the 4+ pickup. Rolled the 1. That's a failed pickup. And that'll be a turnover. So going for the YOLO pickup by the rookie ghoul runner number 10. Failed the pickup. Turn 5 now for Nevva. The ball's going to remain on the 6-yard line. Bounce one space to the right. Two-die block against that rookie ghoul runner. Got the POW out of this. Looking for an 8+ to break armor. Here's the armor break. Is it going to be a removal? It is indeed. 4-man player advantage now for Nevva. That is a significant player advantage. That's a third of the team off the pitch. Two-die block on Harrison gets the push. And with this player advantage as well. Oh, didn't realize was frenzying into the uphill block. You have to be careful with frenzy. That is going to be a turnover. Oh, unfortunate error here by Nevva. Always have to be careful with frenzy. Frenzy's great for getting more dice on a block, but on the first block, if you push, you have to follow up and take a second block. And if that second block puts you in a position where it's uphill, so be it. Really have to be careful with frenzy. It's a double-edged sword, and that'll be a turnover. Turn 6 now for the Dead Poets. That 4-man player advantage not only is a significant player advantage on the pitch, but that's making it easier to keep these mummies at bay. Rush blitz by Harrison gets a push on Desertia. I watched The Batman for the first time this weekend. Not a big fan. It's fine, I guess. It's not. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10 on my NAS. It's okay. I think my problem with it is that it's they made it like Batman the Detective, which is fine, but then like the riddles are dumb. Like, they're just really stupid, and just little. I have little Hollywood nitpicks, like there's a point where Gotham City floods and water's rushing in, except when it's bad for the shot. Like at one point you see Batman in the water. Oh, roll a skull here against the big and blocker over in the right wide zone. Cobain's gonna get knocked down and stunned. Where like Batman's in the water and he's like saving people. At that point, the water's perfectly calm. It's just really weird. Turn 6 now for Nevva. Did I block on Laura Dern? The second gets a pal. SP Beaver says that the one on the expensive mistakes roll really set the tone for me. Gets a push on the second block. Third block here is going to be a pal on Joplin. 7+ breaks armor. This would be a huge removal. Just got a stun out of it. Joplin, the MA8 player, with the only player on the roster with sure hands. No regen on the Ghoul Runners, remember. Trying to set up a surf. Yeah, surf on Thane here. Got it with the push. Well done. 5-man player advantage now for Nevva. All things considered, really well played here by Nevva. Both coaches had their errors that, you know, man, as a coach, when we all make them, and when you make them, especially when the stakes are this high, boy does it sting. But I think both coaches are keeping their cool despite the errors made, and still continuing. They say, okay, that has happened. Now what? And Nevva still remaining in control of the pitch here. We'll see. Oh boy, the mummy will regen. That's a huge gain for the dead poets. And that's a big benefit of Shambling Undead is that regen. It's a 4+. When you take a casualty, maybe you don't got the death here on one of the mummies. We'll still get the 2 cas for it. But the regen saves the mummy. Turn 7 for the dead poets. Good recovery here by Nevva. They have the ball in the hands of Tell Two Lies. This is the number 10 blitzer. Being a blitzer, only a strict 3, does have the block skill, though. Is on the opposing 6-yard line. 2 turns left to try to score. The dead poets only have 6 on the pitch, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What? 1, 2, 3, 4. They only have 5 on the pitch? 1, 2, 3, 4. They only have 5 on the pitch. 6-man player advantage for Nevva. They get a push with the number 1 Mummy Harrison. Boy, how are they gonna? Yeah, like what are you gonna do? Turn 7 now for Nevva. It looks like nobody's gonna be able to catch them here. The first order of business will be to move the ball carrier down pitch to the 18-yard line. There he goes. And that's going to be a guaranteed touchdown. Nevva is going to be in the lead at the end of the half, 1-0. So on odds, the Dead Poets will get 3 players back. They're definitely getting the Mummy back. They have 5 players out. They have to roll a 4+ on each. That's 2.5. So odds are they'll get 3 back, but hopefully, at least for them, they'll get more than that. 2 die blitz over in the left wide zone against Larder in the second. Gets a POW out of this. 9+ will break armor. Dead Poets stopped the Harlequins BBFC run from round 1 to the top. Harlequins won 3 rounds in a row. They needed to win 7 games in a row in a row in order to be declared champion. They got through 3. They were defeated by the Dead Poets in round 4. Round 4 and round 5, this bracket here, this is called the runners-up bracket. These are, with the exception of the Harlequins that had to work their way into this bracket. Yeah, no turn, null turn for the Dead Poets there. They knew nothing to do that wouldn't be risky. Never gonna go to walk the ball in. 1-0 the score at the half. But with the exception of the Harlequins, these are all, I love this. Yeah! What's the cameraman looking at? Look at the... Jeez. With the exception of the Harlequins, these are all runners-up, so... Nevva, the Chaos Cup runner-up, they were 2nd place in the Chaos Cup, losing to league champion Doug the Minotaur and his White Skull Windbreakers. And the Dead Poets were the runners-up in the Dungeon Bowl, losing to JD Whitey's team. So now the Dead Poets set up on defense. Oh no! They got 1 player back, so 2 players. 1 player back on the KO. Wow! Boot polish reminds me. Yeah. Chime lost to kicks in the Chaos Cup. It was rough. Wow, big disadvantage here for the Dead Poets. It's going to be a 3-man player advantage for Nevva. Cobblestone BB, welcome to the stream. Cheering for this defense to try to get on the board here. Going to be 8v11 in favor of Nevva. They have 3 rerolls for the game. The Dead Poets have 4. Can they make something happen here in the second half of the game? They're down 0-1. SBP says, I got him right where I want him. Right where I want him. 2 works back to receive. Is the kicker back on the pitch? Nope. Kicker's out, so this ball's just kind of going wherever. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, boo! Boo! So shallow kick here. The ball kicked to the opposing 6-yard line. Cheering fans kickoff event was a draw, so there's no prayer to Nuffle for this drive. Boot polish cheering for this offense. Moving the receivers forward. Turn 9 underway. Nevva in the lead, 1-0. 2-die block on the left side of the line. Gets a POW on the left defensive tackle. Larder in the second, formerly of Cenozoic Park. SP Beaver cheering for the defense, naturally. 2-die block against Alexander. Gets a push. Alexander, the nose tackle, gets pushed to the side. Will eat another block. Here it is. And another push. Gets the POW here, let you down. The Frenzy blocker had to follow up, got the knockout. That's the power of Frenzy, right? Got 4 dice on that block, got that POW you wanted, gets the knockdown. Negatrait on the troll is really stupid. So long as he has an ally next to him, it's 2+ to take his action. Otherwise, it's a 4+, but a failure means that the troll loses his action and loses his tackle zones until he succeeds that roll in a future turn. Cobblestone BB praying to Nuffle. Nuffle, be kind. Nuffle, be good. Nuffle is good. Man, my prayers are awful. Setting up a cage around the ball. Never gonna dip into the bonus clock. Failed the 3+ pickup. Decides to re-roll it down to 2 re-rolls for the game. Gets the ball in the hands of Tell Two Lies the second, the rookie blitzer. Cobblestorm says, I got a feeling just cheering isn't going to cut it for the defense. So the Dead Poets setting up those mummies in that linebacker position. They want to keep them mobile so they can get them into the game where they need them to be. It's going to be more important than ever on this drive as they have so few players. They need those mummies to engage precisely where they need them to be, but they're very slow. Once they engage, Nevva gonna know, right? They're gonna know where those mummies are. They have enough players where they'll be able to say, okay, you know what? You guys stay over here. I'm going over there. Ooh, rush blitz on the ball carrier. Going for the 1-die blitz. Rolls the skulls. He can roll it again. He's going to roll it again. It's a both standing result. The Dead Poets burned through 2 rerolls here early. Wanted to get a block on the ball carrier. Took the 1-die block. They're down to 2 rerolls, and the ball carrier remains standing. Cobain probably going to pay for his insolence, for his audacity. I guess it's not insolence if you didn't say anything. But certainly audacious. 2-die block against Dessert, he gets the knockdown here. Never gone on turn 10. Two-die block on Winehouse gets the POW. Cobain almost certainly going to be the target of a blitz. Might even just be a block. Yeah, there's the blitz. 3-die blitz on Cobain. Gets the knockdown. 9+ breaks armor. What was that rush roll? That must have been a bug. What was that? Now with the ball carrier free, the ball carrier is going to move laterally to the right wide zone, moves up to the 2-yard line, never going to zone 2-yard line. Now 2-die block against Alexander on the left side of the line gets a knockdown out of this. No armor break, but if he can get a roll on that cast table, it's not going to look good for number 13. 2-die block on Lar turn, the second 8+ breaks armor with the troll. There's the armor break. Gets a stun. Fails a 3+ dodge here. He'll let this rock. Yeah, lets that rock. And now turn 10 back to the Dead Poets. Dead Poets really on the back foot ever since the start of the game here. Looking for a way to recover and get on this board. They need to get on the board or this will be the end of their season. Two ghoul runners back in the safety position, but they're not safe themselves. Remember, these ghoul runners only have an AAV of 8+, And they don't have regen like we saw the Mummy take advantage of. 2-die block will get the knockdown here. No need to brawl. Breaks armor, looking for a removal. Got the removal. That's a big loss. One of those 4 big blockers off the pitch. 2-man player advantage now for Nevva. So the odds slowly shifting in favor of the Dead Poets. Can't get the assist against the untrained troll. Might take the block. Yeah, he's going to do it. The 1-die block with the block skill. Didn't even need it. Gets the knockdown. 9+ will break armor. This would be a huge removal if he can get it. Whoa, broke armor. Got a stun. Takes a mark on Give You Up, the number 3 big blocker. Turn 11 now for Nevva. Blitzers have an MA of 6. There are just 2 ghoul runners standing in front of them. Everyone else is behind this ball carrier and slower, or at least will be. 2-die block against Joplin gets a push out of this. Gonna push Joplin right to the sideline and follow up. Yes, indeed. Might keep the ball carrier close just to get a screen out on here and then take the blocks in turn 12. Seems to be exactly what he's doing. Two-die block against Winehouse at center pitch gets a pal. Yeah, keeps the ball close, advances across the line of scrimmage, but just at the 4-yard line. Is happy to wait until turn 12 to take those blocks to remove those school runners. Turn 11 for the Dead Poets. Boy, what are they going to do at this point? They take the uphill block. That's what they get a both standing result out of this. And now going for the blitz. Uphill blitz. Uphill blitz. Ah! Gets the knockdown on the uphill blitz. We'll see. Is he gonna push to the sideline? Oh, what's he gonna do? And hope for a favorable bounce? I think that's what he might do. Tizzle Bizzle, welcome to the stream. He's thinking. He is going to push to the sideline, so we'll see if this ball bounces out of bounds. He gets an and a good armor break too. But the ball's going to stay right on the sideline. On the 4-yard line, gets an armor break, got a stun out of it. Oh boy, I was so impressed. I don't know if I got the replay. Let's see. Just the very end of it. Takes a 1-die block, but spends another reroll with Harrison the Mummy. Gets a push out of it. The Dead Poets down to 1 reroll for the game. Great positioning over here with the Orcs. It's going to be real tough to get these players into the drive. Takes a 1-die against Make You Cry. Gets a push out of this. And rolls a skull and we'll take it. And that will be a turnover. That's going to free up. Got to Make You Understand. I don't know if he wants to free up anyone in this position. But turn 12 now for Nevva. Yeah. Got to Make You Understand. Is going to come trundling toward this ball. 2-die block against Harrison. S Beavers got to be praying to Nuffle for double skulls at this point. Just something to cut this turn down early. Gets the knockdown on Harrison. That frees up the blitzer. Or, I'm sorry, the big unblocker on the blitz. Gets a push out of it. It's going to get... I think we're going to see a surf of 2 ghoul runners. Here's one. Got the pal on Thane. Here's 2. There it is. Well done. Joplin off the pitch as well. 4-man player advantage now for Nevva. No one of any speed left on the pitch for the Dead Poets. That was their biggest strength in this matchup, and now it's... Oh boy. It's not looking good. I'm breaking to a stun against Winehouse. This is back at center pitch. Nevva now in commanding, dominating control of the pitch. I think at this point, the Dead Poets are just going to have to hope for a flubbed ball pickup that just happens to get thrown out of bounds or thrown back in on the pitch in a advantageous spot, but they just don't have a whole lot of players on the pitch. I think Cobain stands up, just says, "Throw it to me!" Hopes for the best. Fouling the troll, trying to take the troll out. I don't think he can. I don't think he can lose any more players. Dude, I block against Alexander, gets a push out of this. Yeah, trying to take out everyone who's left. Gonna try the ball pick up with Say. No, who's he gonna try to pick the ball up? I guess her. Yeah. Five plus pickup with Tell 2 Lies the second. So he's going to be the ball carrier, the rookie blitzer, now on the opposing 8-yard line over in the right wide zone. He's going to need to get in the way of Harrison or take a mark or something. Yeah, there we go. Well done. Stands up the troll. Cobain, the only serious threat on the pitch, gets a block into a push on Cobain, pushes him across the line of scrimmage. Turn 13 for the Dead Poets. 4 turns to get on the board, and not a whole lot of players to do it with. I believe they have 6 on the pitch. Yeah, 6 players remaining on the pitch. All the ghoul runners have been removed. Just 1 re-roll remaining for the game. Oh boy, this is going to allow Tell 2 Lions to break down pitch. 1 die block on the troll gets a push. Black Wolf 82, welcome to the stream. Black Wolf 82 says, "Dang, Dead Poets looking a little worse for wear." Yes, they are. BB Nut, welcome to the stream. BB Nut says, "Can both teams get disqualified so I can replace them and face JD Whitey?" Oh, if only. I was rooting for you. Lara during the second on the blitz is going to move back in front of this ball and just pray to Nuffle at this point. 24 seconds left on the clock here in turn 13 for the Dead Poets. They're down 0-1. If they can't get on the board in what will be 3 turns, then this will be the end of their season. They will finish the season in 5th place. One rush on Lara during the second. Taking risks. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockdown. Looking for an 8+. Here's the armor break. Another removal. 6 players off the pitch. 5 left for the Dead Poets. And the ball carrier is going to just casually, politely stroll down the right wide zone to the opposing 18-yard line. 2-die block back at the line of scrimmage is going to give you a knockdown. 8+ is going to break armor. Here is yet another armor break. And there's another removal. Four players left on the pitch. Oh man, BB Nut says, I don't mean to be a snitch, but did you know the undead are forcing the zombies to play against their will? That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. I hear I hear the law offices of Pie Whistle insert other two old world people are on the case. Tries to projectile vomit, but vomited all over himself. Rick Roll Athlete II vomits on himself. Which, I mean, come on. Who hasn't done that? Yeah, had to do something here. Had to do something. Needed a big dodge here. A 5+ dodge. Failed the dodge roll. Turn 15 for Nevva. If they walk this ball in, I think they've won the game, but we'll see what they decide to do. Looks like they might try to stall this out. Felix Yeager and Gotrex Lawyers Inc. Oh, wow, look at that. Passing for SPP here in round 5. Or handoff, rather. But Nevva is going to take the lead 2-0. And I think it's going to all but secure the game for Nevva. We've got a turn left. Maybe 2 turns? What is the cameraman looking at? Like, what are you doing? All right, got back 3 KOs, it looked like. So 2-man player advantage for Nevva. It's going to be 11v9 on the pitch. 2 turns left for the Dead Poets to get on the board. They need 2 touchdowns in order to take this. I've never seen this before. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is my favorite thing ever. They need 2 touchdowns in order to stay alive. No kicker for Nevva. They're deciding to screen out this team. Deep kick. We'll see if the kick stays on the pitch. Kicked all the way into the end zone in the right wide zone. 5 players to reposition on the solid defense again. Black Wolf says, they got this. The Dead Poets all the way. Trust me, I'm a professional. I know these things. No problem. Easy. Easy. They might even score 3 touchdowns. So really couldn't ask for too much of a better kick here. Oh, S. Beaver, thank you so much for the gift sub. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for your generosity. 3-die block on the line. It's going to get a knockdown against number 16. 8+ breaks armor. Excellent kick here for Nevva. They're going through the motions. They'll have 1 turn remaining. A POW on number 13 by Lennon. So this will be the first time that S. Beaver has lost to Chime in league history. They've faced off 4 times before. S. Beaver winning twice and drawing twice, and now Chime breaking the curse and winning perhaps the game that matters the most here in round 5. They'll be advancing to the Blood Bowl semifinals to face off against JD Whitey's Forest of Flames. Good pass to Thane, the Ghoul Runner. Go, little runner. I believe in you. I believe in you. Thane in scoring position. Yeah, that's what I want. That's who I want protecting my back, a rookie Ghoul Runner. So Dead Poets, after the very costly error at the beginning of the game where they misclicked the touchback and put the ball in the hands of their center, they really haven't dipped into the bonus clock too much here. They're down to 6:06. That really set the tone for the duration of the game, unfortunately. So Nevva not going to give this touchdown away. 2-die block against Hendricks the third. It's going to spend a reroll. Why not? It's your last turn. Gets a push out of this. Takes a mark on the ball carrier now. 2-die block over in the left wide zone, this time against the kicker. Gets a both standing result, but he'll eat another block, and this time it's going to be a POW. 9+ to break armor on Johnson, the number 12 zombie lineman. And there's the armor break. And there's the removal. Well done. 3-man player advantage now for Nevva in turn 16. .28 seconds left on the clock. Nevva in the lead 2-0. Filling in as many gaps as possible. So that block on Morrison gets the POW. No armor break though. All right, turn 16 for the Dead Poets. Let's go. Their final drive of the season. Can they get on the board? Their final turn. Their final 2 minutes. Rush blitz by Lennon. Gets the knockdown and give you up. Hey! What a way to go out! Hey! He says, take that! The alpha's gonna be spent! It's gonna have to be a dislocated shoulder, but I think that might mean that's the end of his career. Yeah, he says, you know what? You're fired one way or another. Go play for the Dead Poets. Gets a pal and make you cry. All right, a bunch of dodges. Let's go. 1, 2. Oh! Well done. That's it, 2-0. Nevva gonna win this one. What a way to end your season. If you don't win, kill somebody. That's what I always say. Oh, well done. Well done. And there we go. So, were there not a bug in my software, or were I not too lazy to fix it? We would see the Dead Poets winning this bracket, but I'm sorry, not the Dead Poets, the Nevva winning this bracket. Nevva are going to advance to the semifinals, where they're going to face off against JD Whitey's Forest of Flames. That's a Wood Elf team. So it's going to be Wood Elves versus Orcs in the semifinals. And then we are finally going to see league champion Doug the Minotaur and his White Skull Windbreakers take on Nick Satan, former league champion, and his Cenozoic Park. That's Orcs versus Lizardmen. We've got 4 games left in the season, 2 semifinals, the consolation match, and then the championship game. So 4 games left. It's been a fantastic season. I want to thank S. Beaver for participating, being such a great coach. Generosity, of course, always giving out the gift subs and subbing and stuff. I appreciate that, and moderating the channel, and just being a great guy and a great competitor, and I love this game, and I love the folks who play it and have a good time. Black Wolf says, this is the first season I've seen, and it's been a blast. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and after the season's over, we'll probably take a month off, maybe a little more. It's going to depend on just holidays and stuff. But then season 5 will begin, and we have 3 open competitions a season, so anyone's allowed to participate, whether they've played Blood Bowl before or not, or whether they played in our league or not. And then the way our competition is structured, the top performing teams from each competition will advance to the Blood Bowl. It's a guarantee that the top 2 teams from each competition are going to the Blood Bowl, and then it depends on how many other teams we need to fill out the bracket. In this season, it was 11 teams, so everyone has a shot, right? Don't count yourself out. You do your best, and you might make it to the Blood Bowl. I think a lot of the teams in the earlier rounds were probably surprised that they made it to the Blood Bowl. But anyway, we've got 4 more games left this season, and after tonight, our semifinals are going to begin, and once that begins, our semifinalists will begin scheduling their games, and once they do, you'll get alerted to their schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club, here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel, Play Blood Bowl, man. Where else could you just kick somebody in the face and kill them as your swan song? Yes. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store Play. Until Blood Bowl 4 semi-finals here in the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.